All I'm saying is that, we're trying our best to do this to get the game system up. We managed to talk to a lot of the developers and see if they can build stuff. And I'm like shocked in one sense, but like we're actually talking to developers and game players. At the same time, we end up now doing stuff I've never done before, having to run Google ads and stuff on Facebook and Instagram, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, it's interesting because I'm like, I never thought I'd even be in social media for one. I try to stay away from all that stuff. I don't want to be in the drama, anything that happens there. And I'm busy. I got things to do. But at the same time, I understand people want to stay close and get connected. At the same time, people look very close and connected, and then some people get more strained and are not as close and connected now because of being on that. Some people like people, they dislike people, they unfriend or whatever. Some people send invitations, some people refuse the invitation. Can you refuse the invitation? Well, I heard you could. It's just kind of weird, but that's a different thing. What I want to say though is just like I said, we just finished praying, saying I'm praying to God that that things work out smooth and great. And I'm saying this, I actually asked two wonderful people here to record what I'm saying, because I'm like, sometimes a lot of stuff gets said or mentioned and it's not even recorded, and some of the stuff that shouldn't be recorded actually get recorded when you least expect it. The butt dial, right? And it's like when people on the phone, example today, people on the phone, and you're talking to a friend or somebody, and while you're talking to them, it's like, they say, okay, bye, see you later, okay, go take care. And you one or other people, I don't know if anyone does this, but one of the other person is still waiting in line to see, is there something will be said extra? I hear rumbling, or the phone gets forgotten in their pocket. I've actually had people with the phone in their pocket or wherever they are, and they call me at all a random time of daytime, and there's nobody. I hear the noise in the background. I heard a lot of stuff in the back, and I'm like, oh, okay, oh wow, yes, good and bad. I heard it all. I'm like, oh boy. But it happens, me too. I've dialed my brother, everybody at random. But going back to what we're talking about the gameplay. The gameplay I'm talking about is this stuff here. This gameplay is like life. The gaming community is so big. There are a lot of good people. I love games. I love games, the wholesome games that are fun, exciting. Listen, my favorite ones, Streets of Rage, man, you know what I'm saying? Street Fighter, okay, Dragon Balls, we used to play Ninja Turtles back then in the days, Biohazard, Sonic used to upset me because I used to be like, you gain so much, and you get one tap, and you lose all the rings. I used to be so vexed. I don't want to play the game again, no, but I want to get the Transformers, I want to get in the game where you get in the game, you turn it on, and you just play straight, and you just go. But some people are different. Now, I don't want to say only my thing alone. If you guys want to say something too, feel free. What kind of games you like? If you do play games, I'm going to call some great people who are liking it. They have different ways about it. Like when I turn the game on, I like it's good to have a nice storyline or a nice intro, like Streets of Rage, right? Like 4. That's my reference. Nice intro, and then you get straight into it, and then you build a scene, you build your stuff, you get your stuff, you pick your characters, pick your players, you select what it is, and if you got secret codes, you go for it. Now you can monetize these games where you can actually put ads and stuff in between there. Now, I like to get straight gameplay. I like interruptions. So, we bought back then the old console, Sega Genesis, Saturn. Remember the Nintendo? Remember the little, not Xbox, but the little Nintendo? What you had in here? The little handheld Nintendo? All that stuff. Things have evolved so much over the years. But a simple thing is that we can get in there, play the game. Donkey Kong, the old flip games back then. Donkey Kong, back in my first game in the Caribbean. Donkey Kong in a brown case with a flip, and I see Donkey Kong on the screen. Little our character. Then we started getting the watches that have this stuff. Then they started doing the little Donkey. It was so cool. A simple game, but he kept us preoccupied. I wouldn't say addicted or hooked. I was still busy doing other stuff out there, but I know when I had a time to just relax, I could play the game. And it was so captivating to see I could do some stuff. And the screen was so small. We were so happy. But yet, something weird? When you go home, we want the big screen. I want to play a game. I want to see the whole big screen. But too big can be too bad. And too little can be too bad too. If it's too big, then the whole thing is in your face. You can't really get to see the details. Sometimes you need to zone it back or out, whatever you put it. I need to see it a little further away so I can see the details. Now, here's something weird. We want the big 65-inch plus TV, right? But at the same time, when you want to play watching a movie or something on the phone, how big is the screen? 6, 7, 8 inches, maybe 9, maybe. Or soon, or the way they had it might be a big flat screen in your hand soon. But that's a different story altogether. Go back to the game. The game system is so nice, and I was like, Apple and Android. Android has some very nice games too. I remember playing. One we like, I didn't see it back then, but Rampage, where the creatures like tearing up the buildings and mashing stuff up. Yeah, cool. The plane flyover games, where they rescuing people, like what's in Strike Force and stuff, or Strike Force Reloaded. All the stuff there. Transformers. The gaming industry is so big. The animation, the graphics, the detail, and now with AI stuff, it's amped up, and especially fast. Look at Street Fighter. Now, I like Street Fighter a lot, except the newer ones. I don't play it as much because he looks more. They make Ryu get kind of dark, not in complexion, but he looks more angry and kind of evilish. Like the dark Ryugen, it's like he's almost taken over. But that was the last time I was like 5. I don't know if there's anything after that. I was stuck back at the last time I played a real good game of Street Fighter was like Street Fighter Alpha and 2. That was back in the days when they had it in Saturn. I only did a little bit of stuff back then, but I also had a game we had called Yu Yu Hakusho, or Yu Yu Hakusho, Japanese animation game. We love Japanese animation games. So much detail with Lekudan, with the little thing done, Botan San, all that stuff they play with each other's energy balls. Like Dragon Ball Z too. A lot of energy balls, a lot of energy, a lot of power, a lot of stuff. Great stuff where you can take a Kamehameha and just blast it. Or Street Fighter, the Hadouken, or the. Oh man, the roundhouse kicks, all that roundhouse kicks. I don't even know the name of it now. But you know what I'm talking about. Game, you have different moves and stuff. All that stuff you do, like turn the controller and switch your thumb and do this. Listen, our thumbs used to be so sore, water plugs. They used to be sore from gaming all night. We used to play games from morning till night. Ask my boy Michael. We play games from what? Go home after school, maybe like 5, 6 o'clock. Sleep. If you're on a holiday, no sleep. Play a game, get some Chinese food, get some chicken wing fried rice, chicken wing beef fried rice. We used to get 24 wings at a time. Just sit down there, CNC cola, sit down and play. Just play. Until when? Play, sweating, bathing. Nobody even want to bathe. We're all dirty playing. We don't play. He's whooping my skin. He's scrubbing the floor at me, man. He's just joining it up. I'm like, dude, it's 120 something to like 15 or 14. And I didn't mind. I didn't want to lose, but I was being my best. And he's always insulting me. You no good, you scrub, you a piece of God. And I'm like, why is he always beating on me? That's not right, man. But I didn't mind because I like the gameplay. And why? Here's the weird thing about it. And I think this is why people relate. Let me know if you do agree or disagree. The gameplay was an avenue away from the stresses in the life I was facing at the time. That point in time in high school, I don't know why, it was just very stressful. Whether it's girlfriends or stuff or work or school, it was very stressful. I just felt like it's like everything was just like, there's so much expectations. I need to get this thing done. I need to study. Nobody was telling me you better get this or else, like no one was threatening me. But I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to see myself fail. I wanted to make sure that I can do it and hopefully graduate and then become successful later on, to have a job and a family and kids and buy a car and a house and everything. But at the same time, I used to always watch people in their cars and vehicles and say, hey, just look at them driving with the windows up and everything. Say, are they happy? Is this what being an adult would be like? Are they at peace? What does this have to do with gameplay? You'll see. Are they happy? Are they at peace? Is it what life is be like when they get older? I don't know if you guys are thinking the same thing. Whether young boy, young girl, young man, I don't know. I'm just curious because I felt a lot of pressure on myself. But who was putting it to me? Was people telling me this stuff? People expected you you get good grades, you got to maintain. They said they maintained, but they didn't know the work you had to put in just to get it. We work hard, memorizing books and chapters. At the same time, other people didn't have to do so much. My boy Mike, he had to memorize that stuff, but he was all getting grades. He was asleep, relaxed, chill. I'm like, how does he do this? He also took notes, so neat and simple. I used to write like a book for every note, and he's writing paragraphs. And I'm like, seriously? How in the world this guy can do this and then get them at the same grades? But then we used to have fun. We used to teach each other in class, but at the same time, go back to the games. What we did with the games was that when we finished in the game was almost like a great equalizer. After the end of all of that, whether you got your high school, your grades, let me tell you this much. My family, my mom, my aunt, and these always tell us what they call common sense. And I said, what is common sense? Common sense means you should have something in common, I'm guessing. But what is normal? What is abnormal? What is non-common sense? Who dare determine what is common sense? Who are you? Who am I to call somebody and say you don't have common sense or you're uneducated or educated? How can you make a determination of what education is if I'm basing it upon the standards of how I was educated and taught? And you do the same, I'm guessing, right? How can I determine who's smart, who's not? If we're all made in the image of God, you and I, how can I tell who you are? So when I say all this about the game is a great equalizer, it means it is an equalizer. I mean that no matter what you had before, no matter your grade level, everything like that, so if you can hold some buttons in your hand, if you can look at the screen, if you can watch it, you like to relax and have fun, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say like gaming system, because at that time, as stressful as it was everything else, when I can play the game and have fun and laugh, and I like to play the game where I can attack each other. Streets of Rage was like from 1, 2, 3, 4. We used to attack each other crazy. Street Fighter, just beat each other like crazy. But it takes a lot of stress from us. Because we're so used to worrying in the street fighting like crazy, even though we were playing songs like Wu-Tang and all that stuff. We weren't causing, we weren't like going and causing trouble in gangs. Yeah, we were getting robbed and jumped and sometimes, but it's like, that's just the sad part of life. That's what I'm saying. It's a shame what goes on. It's a shame. This stuff is happening in Brooklyn and other parts of the city. What is it like? Girls getting jumped, guys getting jumped. I got jumped by 40 people one time. Walking another girl home. I'm like, what is the world? My boy will tell you about it. I'm like, he didn't know I was there. And at the time, I used to be like, yo, if I was there, man, I had a weapon, somebody would have died that day. But then they're supposed to use a weapon on me too. And then would that have made the proper thing? Why were these kids doing this to the other kids? What does it have to do with gameplay? You see what I'm talking about? the violence from the stuff we lived around and amidst around us all the time, we're like, we couldn't do it. We couldn't get back at the people that are hurting us in person. And I think subconsciously we're like, we have a lot of energy, especially guys. You don't want to be picked on. You don't want to be stepped upon. You don't want to be looked on. You don't want to be pushed on. You don't pushover. At the same time, you got to release it. I don't know how girls release the energy. I don't know. But at the same time, you're saying, hey, if I gotta do this, let me see. Maybe I can learn some styles and kicks and punches and stuff like that. Or maybe I can learn, and see how to zap and taste. But I never want to play games with blood and gore. That's the interesting part. I don't want to see blood splat and gore because I don't want to see anybody really die. So I'd rather you get hit and you blink and you disappear off the screen. You blink, or when your new player comes, you drop out of the screen. Not like an angel, but you just drop out. So there's no blood and gore, and in the games, you see the game now, the games are becoming so much more sexualized. All the women are pretty much naked, the boobs are hanging out. I mean, there's nothing to hold it in place. Up skirt, all round skirt, everything possible. We don't want to do that. We want to give wholesome games. Now, we have developers making the games, and we have to tweak them here and there. Trying our best to give you wholesome stuff that's clean, that's good, that children can watch, parents can watch, that women can feel respected. Yet we're going to make them fierce. They're going to wear bodysuits, and, you watch Marvel and Capcom. We ain't trying to accentuate the intimate parts, but we're trying to show the parts of the muscle and the physique. And you notice how the games and the movies are? Always with the ab rocker pack and the big broad chest and the broad arms, stretch of shoulders and the abs and stuff, and the lats and the delts. You know what I'm saying? The glutes. You know what I'm saying? Why? Is it realistic? But there are people trying to live up to the standards. What is Comic-Con? You know what I'm talking about? What West by Southwest, all that stuff? People love games. Now, I ain't no game expert. I'm saying I haven't been in the system. I played it when I was younger, and I still like it. Why? Because it was just a nice way to escape and to try something different. And just it's just very cool. And now I can download it on my phone, like an app on Android. And I'm like, whoa, I like the plane fighters and the street fighter and all this stuff. And I'm like, we can do a lot with this stuff. But it's like, wow, now we're actually trying to make games now. Looking back, I'm almost 50 years old, and I still like the games. And I want to bring it back like you guys, because I see you guys watching it. So I said before, we're listening. We're listening and we're watching. And we're also, what we give to you, we give to ourselves. I mean, in the sense that I ain't going to promote something to you that I won't give myself. And why? Because God holds us accountable. Why I'm going to give you something that's going to be wholesome to you, and we can help lift you and build you up. So we don't want to see blood and gore and stuff. We want to destroy evil. That's how most of the games you play. We're fighting against what? Zombies, beasts, ghouls, ghosts, wicked stuff, all kind of dinosaurs, all kind of wicked stuff, fighting against spirits or witches or warlocks. Most of the games is like to fight good, fighting evil, and your good wants to win. Deep down inside, we want to win. But if we're fighting evil with just being evil ourselves, that's not gonna go. Access to the head and chop it next on face, all stuff, that's not giving God praise. That's just woo. So if we're going games and they say just to blast them or something and they flicker and they blink, it's good. If we have like blades in our hand fighting against it, I'll kind of take my mind is like that's self-defense. Self-defense fighting against the peoples, But if it's like or you can open the garage, my friend. Yeah, but if it's like that, so I'm like, so I won't say too much more than that. I'll just say that much. Games are in the works. We have about 7 or 8 games. We got to see. It might be less or more, depending. Some developers want to combine. Some developers want to just do it straight. Either way, I'm excited, and we hope by the grace of God to bring you something good so we can keep you updated. Also, the website, Matiby.store, Matiby.store. It's a work in progress. I like the front screen. It's nice. It's calm, relaxed, and tranquil. When you go to the products page, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Not because that day is so chaotic, but just because there are so much products that are there right now, over 1,400 plus, and there are more coming. And there are going to be more coming again. So, the kids are designing, the wife is designing, friends are designing. We just love to design. Friends and nieces are designing. We got a lot of stuff coming out. At the same time, we have to find a way to organize it and put it in place. But you want to make sure you do it in a way that doesn't crash the system and doesn't mess up the stuff, because if it ain't broke, I don't want to mess with it. So we got to work with it. Also, as I said before, we have another friend we're going to partner with SilverFoxScissors.com. Silver, SILVER, Fox, FOX, Scissors, SCISSOR, SilverFoxScissors.com, that we're going to partner as a button that you can actually start shopping for. High quality Japanese type scissors for those who work in the hair and styling industry. But even if you don't work in the styling industry, you like to have your hair done properly, you have to like the stuff done good. These shears, my friend, I want to say scissors, these shears are very high quality stuff, and they cut very good, very clean. I love the demo. My friend talks about it. He loves it. He's so passionate about it. He's like, dude, help me with this. You got to do this stuff. And I'm like, no, you help me. He's like, you know what? I want to make something that we can all help each other and people around us to buy it. We don't want to sell you knockoff and garbage. We want to sell you good stuff. Same thing goes. God says, if you're going to give him the best. Don't give me something you won't give for yourself. So if I like it, I'll keep it. And the scissors are very nice. They're very ergonomically nice designed. I wish I could show you them when I'm talking so you can see the stuff overlay in the background. But you will in time. You'll see. We're going to make videos about them too. So I have a shipment of stuff coming in. We have a lot of stuff coming in there. And, our friends always say, don't make promises you can't fulfill. I don't make promises. Okay? I'm just giving updates of potential things that could be, that I would like to see happen, but by God's mercy and grace. If he makes it happen, It's done. If it doesn't happen, hey, can't hurt. At least you say you try. But I'd rather try than not try and say, hey, because suppose many inventions in the world that could have happened, right? But because people said, nah, it didn't happen, it wouldn't. I told you about the windshield already, in the car, and the tire, the wheel. No. What about flight? No, you can't be in a bird. You can't get in the sky. You just crash and burn. What about the food you get now from peanuts and all these different things you eat? I mean, all the stuff you have here is because people tried something different most times. Or said, hey, you notice? I noticed a pattern. Or I noticed something different. What if suppose we... And then when you've made it, you say, hey, can we improve on it? So they did. So by the grace of God, we're improving and trying. Now, I ain't saying nothing, but I'm hoping this thing is actually recording, because I'll be talking from the air and myself. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Okay, it's on. I'll take a word for it. But in the meantime, I'm cutting it here. We got things to do in the house. We're going to catch up. All I'm saying, keep checking the website. As chaotic as it is, hey, you know it is. I tell people this. I see videos of people getting stuff from Amazon and pallets of stuff whereby they're stuff that people returned, right? And what they do, instead of taking them, I heard some places, I don't know for certain if confirmed, but anything that's sent returned, because there's so much inventory, they sometimes just take them and destroy them from the manufacturer or burn them. I'm like, whoa. Or some people now, I heard they auction them off. I'm like, all those good products, quality products, just being gone to waste. I wish I could take it and refurbish and thing it. Now I hear they're trying to refurbish and stuff like that too and do that. So that's cool. But at the same time, if people have the time to go there and to sort through rubble or trash, sort through the stuff and the pieces and the things and to get something to put together and put it together, what's wrong with just taking a screen and just flicking it up? Flick it up or flick it down. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. I'm hearing it from everybody. It's a lot. So much to take in. But we also got to learn back to train our minds to be patient again. Remember, before all these things happen, how did they advertise back in the days? How did they do our advertising announcements, road shows, word of mouth, talking, networking? You see people making people for one, and they're making efforts and making ads by just putting a post up. Here we go. Hey, get you around, gather around, people. Everything. Back in the days, those old shows. I'm just trying to see, or the ring the bell and stuff. I watch a lot of Asian shows. I watch a lot of stuff in the old time shows. Just to see how things were back then. Is anything really new now? So now you have digital things and phones and everything possible. At the same time, we have to be careful. Be careful not to get too, say, dependent or complicit, or say the term, I don't want to say, but lazy, L-A-Z-Y, in terms of saying, it must be faster, better, faster. Sometimes slower and in a slow, meticulous way is actually better than faster. You may do things very fast. So they're like, very fast. Oh, was the darkness before? Thank you, Lord, the light is here. Right? Very fast. And then it's like, you miss it. It's like taking a trip from New York to Florida, New York to California. Is that what flyover countries did? You fly over the country of Kansas, Texas, Missouri, and all that stuff. I want to see all the states still. It's still a part in progress. But same, it's like, when you go fly over, you get there in 5-6 hours from California, depending on how fast you go. It's cool. Get there, you're in time. But if you take a long road trip, which I did one time back in the days, God bless. Scary, but was good. Went there in the kind of winter time. The BMW 525i stick shift, E90, pretty cool. Went there and I'm like, nice. I took the time. I saw all these states. I never knew America was so beautiful. I only heard about things from growing up as a kid. I dreamed about it. I never saw cross-country pictures before. And I'm like, look how beautiful this country is. So, not talking about that. Some of the games you have may not be all for that action and adventure and attack them stuff. Sometimes you might see some of farming. Sometimes maybe some of just natural environments and scenery. That's cool. And here's something. What we want to do, if the game sells good and good, like Tesla, the model is Tesla, if it does good, and you see it good, we do R&D. Research and development, what works, what didn't work, tweak it, make it better. Reinvest again, reinvest into more games, more stuff. So this is not just as one-off and spin-off and that's it. No, we want to make more. But to make more, you got to build up revenue first and you got to get it. And here's the thing. Do you want to pay any money to buy a game? You want to pay money for an install? You want to pay money for every time you download? I paid yesterday, or 2 days ago, $8 for Streets of Rage 4. I was like, that's a steal. Yeah, boy, I'll get that in an instant. I don't know if do they monetize it still in ads and stuff? You didn't see it monetized. And there's a way to monetize. And I'm like, it costs a lot of money to make the games. Thousands to make games. Big money. I saw a video yesterday from, say, average, maybe, unless if you're doing it yourself and a little thing, so God bless you. If you can't, like, Granger over here, listen. Oh, I keeping it real. YouTube channel, you know. It's like 1,000 to millions of dollars to make an ad. Not an ad. Well, ads too, yeah. Like, halftime shows and all that stuff. But a video game, mobile app, is expensive. And I'm like, whoa, this is heavy. I'm dishing up money. I'm like, but we didn't make that much money yet. And they said, don't worry, you'll make it back in the end. I hope. Because I saw the videos, people saying they made videos, they made apps and stuff, like 3-4 apps, and they made a couple of dollars, but by the time they got Got to pay everybody else out. They got a little bit left. How much you make from it? I don't know. But what you want to do with the money? If it makes good and you go successful, by the grace of God, you go successful, take the money and reinvest it back into making more games, more products, more stuff, to make it more streamlined. And eventually, if you can build it up big enough to go there and try to help, to, as I said before, we want to create more affordable housing in the long run. There's a plan on how we're going to do that. How? Only God knows. But we want to start to build little communities and stuff, or things where we can, to take money to make housing cheaper and more affordable for people. So this is not just about making money and keeping it for yourself. I'll pay off my own bills first, for sure. I won't be telling you stuff and I have my own debt and stuff to pay. Pay off debt, pay off bills, pay off all the stuff, and help those who can around the same time. Who needs help legitimately and really, and learn the lesson of how to manage and not to squander funds, pay off their bills and stuff, and build. Put back, reinvest and build, and pay off your stuff and help other people who need help as well, to develop stuff, to work, to be more entrepreneurs, to be self-supporting. We need to do that and reinvest in ourselves. It's one thing to work for somebody if you're working for common names, but I'm tired of seeing people working so hard for people who don't seem to care about their welfare and their benefit. People working so hard and still have to collect welfare checks, or still have to go there and have to collect WIC and food stamps. Not saying those are collected are bad, but just saying, if I'm working for the stuff, I like what Ford did. If I'm working for a company, my salary should be good enough so I can afford the product the company is making. How am I making a phone or a car something and I can't afford the phone or the car? That's like disheartening. And if the company owner or the people in the investor or the board members are making so much money for themselves, where almost like 40, 60, 100 times plus what the regular employees are making. You know what God said about that? The workman and workwoman is the word of their hire. If we know to do the good thing and give people a fair wage, and we choose to be stingy or the Scrooges and hold the money back and try to stiff them and make them suffer for that, God's not going to be happy with that. So I have to be held accountable to not just human standards, but God. We got to pay taxes and all this stuff and other stuff. It's a lot of stuff you don't see in the background. We have to take care of taxes and bills, and got to get lessons for this and permits for this and receipts for that. But I don't mind if it's going to make people happy at the end of it, and we can enjoy life and be able to think. You put in the good work. You want a big skyscraper? Go down deep, dig the hole, make it strong, make it great, and then you live off of it. You know? Most of the buildings you see now, they have to be on a strong rock. Because God, you see how God says it? You got to build on the rock, not sinking sand. So if you want a good, strong building, a strong environment, strong place to live, you build on a rock. God is a rock. You build on Him. So what I mean by that, all your principles, policy standards, all this stuff, how you build it, must be modeled after God. If something is there that's not fully of God and you don't understand it, say, I'm curious, is this thing, and again, we're not perfect. We're humans, we make mistakes. We might put something, maybe something might go in the anime that's there, or maybe in the video that may not be proper, or maybe misunderstood by accident. Let us explain it one day. You could send a comment, send something, say, listen, I saw this thing. This is what you really meant. There's no occultist things here. We don't do no spiritism. We may model the games after other popular games and themes. Like I like Blast of Energy. I like Blast of Stuff. I like Blast of Kamehamehas. I like the structure you can. I like energy waves and balls. I like to see a lot of lights and flash and stuff. I like to see all this kind of stuff. Right? If you see them, not because I want to say, oh, it's a chi in me, the spiritism. No. I'm not saying it just for effects. Just for effects. In other words, I like what I like, but I know the difference between reality and fiction. So I like Godzilla. I like to see the plasma waves. But do you see lizards running around burning things with their mouth, like dragons blowing fire and everything in the meantime, fire and brimstone? Do we see dragons getting slayed by people right now? Do you see that? But yet we love dragon games. Do you see people, King Kong, reach out to smashing buildings and having earthquakes and tearing up the place? No, Transformers. It's sci-fi. Why? We love that stuff. What if this truck can transform, Autobots, roll out? What if that can really happen? A 30-foot robot next to you going, and look how personified they made him, so loving and delicate with people as if. And the you see the best thing I like to see, King Kong versus Godzilla. The little scene when on the ship and the fingers touch. Little bitty her and big him. I can't touch on the fingers. I'm not gonna see his range over here. I'm all crooked. Can you see it? Touch. That's a very, very novel thing. A big creature so big, like you see like the big whales in the sea, yet they can tell if you're rubbing a barnacle off for them, if you touch them. Yet they can go through all kind of debris and stuff and don't feel it. You see it appears, but they actually do feel it. How could something so big yet be so delicate and so personable and so humanistic? You know the hairs in your skin, you can actually feel when something touches your hair, like a fly or something. How all this matters. All this is part of life. Game is like life, life is like game, but this is real. You see what I mean by that? If not, look in the mirror. God bless y'all. We'll talk again, okay? Thank you so much. We talk.